Read.
It seems like an insult to you and our community. Ultimately, the city had other plans for the building and relented to severe public pressure.
The Seattle PD has been under fire for its tactics in recent weeks, using flashbangs and pepper spray on crowds. This girl crying in pain. 14,000 complaints filed against police. But the chief now says due to the takeover, officers can no longer respond to all calls for violent crimes in the neighborhood.
We have heard that there are armed people patrolling the streets near 12th and Pine.
President Trump dubbing the group domestic terrorists, despite the gathering being largely peaceful. He called on the governor and mayor to take back your city now. If you don't do it, I will. Seattle's mayor firing back on Twitter, writing, "Make us all safe. Go back to your bunker."
It is unconstitutional and illegal to send military to Seattle.
And slamming the president's threat to move in on the city.
One of the things this president will never understand is that listening to community is not a weakness. It is a strength.
But the mayor taking criticism herself from some Black Lives Matter protesters, saying she's allowing this to distract from the overall cause.
I'm ashamed of my city right now. I'm ashamed of the mayor. Shame on her.
I don't know how Capitol Hill became the center focus of this. Capitol Hill is not the black community. The black community is 6 blocks up the street and to the left.
Those at the autonomous zone have a list of demands, including removing officers from schools, getting rid of juvenile jails, and even abolishing the city's police department altogether.
We witnessed many peaceful protests across the country in response to George Floyd's death, but we also experienced deadly riots in America's major cities because, once again, city and state governments, almost all of them, not all of them, but most, totally unprepared and totally incompetent yet again. We see looting, we see arson, we see violence, we see death, we see destruction, we see lawlessness and anarchy. Innocent people, over 20 have died, businesses destroyed. We watch police precincts burned to the ground. And these Democratic mayors and governors, they have done nothing to stop this. In fact, many Democrats actually are supporting the anarchy. Oh, and it gets probably as bad as it can get. Listen to what this congressional candidate, this genius had to say. Take a look.
A week ago, they had snipers on the roof. What the hell you got snipers on the roof for in a peaceful march? Even if people loot, so what? Burn it to the ground, if that's what it's going to take to fix our nation. I know people want me to say that, but I'm just saying.
These politicians have run their states and their own cities into the ground. Even before the riots, violent crime in almost every major city was on the rise. Their educational systems have been failing for decades. They never do a thing to fix it. And now, by the way, and their taxes are higher than ever. And you see a mass exodus out of almost all these cities. And once again, a big liberal city has completely now lost control of what is a critical situation. If you think watching, police precincts burn, look what's going on in Seattle. It is so bad, a bizarre group of these loosely affiliated anarchists and other losers have literally now taken over 6 city blocks in one of Seattle's most prominent neighborhoods. Dozens of homes now under siege without any police protection. A police precinct is now under anarchist control. Governor Inslee, what are you doing? Nothing up to this point. And by the way, the president has been begging all of these big cities. I will send in help, but you have to ask for it. They steadfastly refuse to do what is right, protect their citizens, protect property, protect the innocent. In fact, one of the first things these far-left radicals actually did, shockingly, they actually built the border wall. Wow, I guess walls work. Is that what the message is here? Armed vigilantes are now setting up checkpoints into and out of the so-called autonomous zone. Buildings inside the zone are getting vandalized. Business owners, there are reports that they're being extorted. Fights are breaking out. People are being assaulted. And an entire police precinct totally abandoned and taken over by the anarchists. 6 blocks of pure anarchy inside the great United States of America. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I ever imagined we'd be seeing all of this in this great country of ours. I didn't think I'd see if it was happening. They didn't do anything to protect innocent people either. ABC News is calling this living nightmare, well, get this, a festive zone. That's right. According to ABC, quote, police in Seattle have largely withdrawn from a neighborhood where protesters have created a festival-like scene that has President Donald Trump fuming. Now, the real problem for anyone with eyes to see and a functioning brain is that Seattle's Democratic mayor, Washington's Democratic governor, they're doing nothing to protect their people and restore order, protecting life, protecting property. The citizens of Seattle now are literally in danger, and we're watching it in real time. And these Democratic so-called leaders, they're doing nothing to protect the citizens of their state, their city, looking the other way as a group of idiot anarchists destroy their own city.
If there were more toughness, you wouldn't have the kind of devastation that you had in Minneapolis and in Seattle. I mean, let's see what's going on in Seattle. I will tell you, if they don't straighten that situation out, we're going to straighten it out.
Now, the president's right. Now the protesters in the autonomous zone are holding the 6 city blocks hostage unless a list of demands are now met, including things like free college tuition and rent control.
The Apostle Paul